Alright, so second video, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing daily uploads, but I just had this idea ready for a while, along with the first one. So yeah, this video will be a little different since already moving on to Roblox from renting stuff. But whatever. Hopefully it'll be good. Anyways, video start. Alright, so I'm sure you've seen on Roblox those, survival games, those zombies versus whatever, humans versus robots, zombies versus humans. There's a lot of these different games, and honestly, they all have the same premise. You basically just survive the night, get money, use your money to buy better gear and more blocks, and build a really big base. There's a very simple gameplay loop, I suppose. Nothing really much goes on. But apart from that, the one I have been enjoying the most, and the one that it appears to have the most effort, honestly, and has very good effort put into it, is Zombies vs. Humans, the game shown on screen right now. I just want to talk about some pros and cons on the game because, like most games, it does have a lot of good things going for it, and it also has some, bad things, unfortunately. No fault of the devs, obviously, it's just kind of an issue with the genre in general. But let's start with the good stuff because I don't want to sour the taste by shitting on it for like 20 minutes. Alright, so the game has actually really good combat. The animations look good. The grind is actually pretty decent if I'm being completely honest. It's just like you get about a level every couple games in the early game, and much later when you're like in the 20s, when you have much more things at your disposal, you can level up pretty damn quick. It's actually basically a level every like half game, I guess, every 2 games usually, depending on like how greedy you were with either killing zombies or just Gravedigger. We'll get to him later. But that's kind of where the good parts end. There is an achievement system as well, and honestly, a lot of them are pretty cool. A couple of them do have unlocks, but it's like I think only like 2 or 3 actually have some kind of unlock associated with it. The other 99% of them they don't do anything. They just, they look cool, which is I guess the whole point, but you can't flex them because you can't show them to anyone. It's not like anyone's gonna see them. But, apart from that, it's pretty much fine. The cons list, it's a little long here, but I'll try to condense it as much as I can. Items don't save. This is basically almost instantly noticeable from the moment you start playing because you do get this prompt saying, do you want to save your last session? But, you know, it lasts for 15 minutes. So if you, for some reason, leave because you need to do something, come back 20 minutes later, all your shit is gone. And I understand why. Apparently this was done to prevent snowballing from what I remember when since I've been playing since before this big ass overhaul update. But I don't really understand why they wanted it to be that bad. I mean, I feel like even half an hour would be better. At least you could play something else for a bit, then come back. And I don't really understand the snowballing argument either because basically 2 games in, you're already able to buy everything you need. Especially if you have some of these game passes. Because the game passes are intrinsically letting you snowball anyways, except it costs money, I guess, so it's okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to ruin the party, but that is kind of a weird way to put it, although it does kind of make sense. Apart from that, I can live with no saving, just play a couple games, get your stuff back together, and you're all good. It does at least add some, extra replayability, so you just start spawning in with everything. Well, and moving on to some of the other issues, another issue with the game, and this one's even more obvious than the other ones, there's no map variety. There is absolutely no maps to play on apart from the base one, which I think it did get updated. I think it was kind of switched around a bit, at least the surrounding area and stuff, but I honestly don't remember. I don't have any pictures of the old map, unfortunately, just kind of like what the new one is on screen. But apart from that, there's no map variety. You always play on the same map, and I know that wouldn't be an issue if the map was bigger, but the map is really not that big. You can get across it in about 20 seconds with a normal speed zombie, and as a human, you can basically get across it in 2 if you have the Elytra or Ender Pearl. And honestly, apart from that, while having no map variety is an issue, I'd rather them focus on the actual like gameplay first and adding new maps. As much as I would love that, because playing on bigger maps that allow for like more build variety and other weird ass strategies would be extremely fun, honestly. But unfortunately, we're not quite there yet, so we're kind of just, you know, sitting in this base map. But not too bad, I guess. You know, I did say these were cons, but I will at least try to like one up them, so it's not completely just shitting on the party. But you know, I can't save everything. Now onto the zombie variants. Now this was obviously a good thing. I forgot to include it in the pro section, but no, zombie variants now, that was a good thing. If I was doing a video on this game before the update, my con would have been that there were no zombie variants. And well, now there is, so why is it even here? Well, the issue is, it's kind of with the way the zombies are in general, because obviously they all have their own specialty. The normal base ones, you know, the dynamite and the bomb, they're just meant to blow things up and kill humans. But the rusher is really good for how short cooldown it has. You can catch up to basically anyone, and as long as you understand how to time your explosion, you never get defused and you do pretty decent damage. It is lowered, obviously, and you have less health, but honestly, for the increased walk speed, it's basically always worth it. And then you unlock Cannoneers right after these two. Cannoneers are like easily the most broken thing in this game. They are just like beyond unbalanced for some reason. And their only thing keeping them in check is the fact that like 1 or 2 arrowhead shots will be enough to like basically like cause them to like just crumple. Well, I do understand why they are so weak. It is very annoying having your cannonballs get caught on geometry because you stood a little too close to by accident, or someone, this is an issue by the way, someone walks in front of you, eats your cannon shot, and causes you to severely hurt yourself or just literally die because you were just already that low. I hope they fix this in some kind of update. This isn't even like a pro or con thing, it's just a fix I want, because I don't think zombies should be able to eat your shots. It's very annoying because you'll have people sabotage you on purpose, and honestly, the fact that there's no report system is very annoying because you can't really like tell these people to stop or report them or anything. And I don't feel like joining Discord just to report someone, I'm gonna be honest. Well, enough about the Cannoneers. They basically have everything good. Good range, good damage if you hit the directs. Their splash is pretty ass, honestly, but who really cares? And apart from that, it's pretty good. And moving on to the Gravedigger, I guess. Pretty good. All he does is put graves down. He has a decent amount of health and helps the zombie spawn in the middle. There's nothing really to say. He basically just gives you an extra spawn point. He is really good for farming money though. I don't know if they're gonna nerf it, but it's extremely good for how easy it is. And moving on to the Gladiator. Yeah, he's very good. So he has a couple things going for him. He has 19 walk speed, which is better than the base 16. And he also has pretty good health. He has 250, which puts him up there on someone wearing, I think, gold armor, since that gives you 250 health, although you don't get the speed penalty, so you're basically just as tanky while being faster. The sword swings do feel kind of jank sometimes with how slow the Gladiator will swing it, but it's basically the only thing keeping him balanced. And its final 3-hit combo will always end with an overhead that does 65 damage. The full combo actually does about a little over 120 damage. I think it's closer to like 150 maybe, since it's 2 swings of 35 and 65. I don't really feel like doing math right now, basically. My point being is that, yeah, he's really good. He doesn't really have any downsides apart from the fact he can't break blocks, which is, I guess, his only downside. He also has the Q ability where it sets some charge up, and during your charge you can run into, you know, humans and hurt them. They'll get knocked. And, you know, that's pretty good. And if you somehow land the charge properly, because if you click during the charge, you'll swing out your sword, it does 80 damage. Very good for how fast it comes out. Apparently this can be parried. I don't even know how to. Honestly, that seems way too hard. So yeah, that's basically all the zombies. Well, I did list some of the cons. I at least wanted to bring the zombies in their own list, their pros and cons. You know, if this is going to be a whole pros and cons video, might as well bring the zombies in. So that's it. What's the gameplay like? I already said, you just, you know, you build, fight zombies, get money, build more. That's basically the entire loop. And you know, the only annoying part is when sometimes people just don't help, but that's an issue in all multiplayer games, so let's not add that. But, you know, this is a lot better when you used to only be able to spawn as the basic ass zombie. I will admit, this is very good. So, yeah, safe to say things are headed in a very good direction in terms of gameplay. I know this video seems like it's a little, you know, it's not too much of a deep dive. I just kind of wanted to talk about some surface level stuff. I'll most likely, you know, edit things to seem a little bit less confusing. I mean, not more confusing. But yeah, since things are headed in such a good direction, hopefully the game does get some more updates and we see some more stuff, because I'm really excited to see what other stuff gets added to this game. Well, that's the whole video. These games aren't super deep and they just end up being mini reviews, which is what I said. Which I don't mind, but hopefully you guys don't mind it either. And next video might also just be Roblox related. It also might be on this game again, so I don't know. Let me know. Anyways, if you got this far, thanks for watching. Have a good day.